So last year I got a lot of questions about what supplies did I use to make my planner. So this year for my 2019-2020 planner, I have made this video to list all the supplies I used and where I got them, and links to all of those things will be linked down below. So stay tuned to see where I got my paper, the covers, the rings, all the tabs, everything. So stay tuned. The question I got the most was, what paper do I use to print? And this is the paper that I use. This is the 28-pound HP premium paper in 100 brightness. I heard about this from Bridget Spackman from the Lettered Classroom, and it's really nice paper. It's really bright white. It's like a true white paper. And when you feel it, it's got like a softness to it that I really like. I honestly like pet the paper sometimes just because I like how it feels. And the ink clings really well to this, and at the same time it doesn't have a lot of bleed through because of the 28-pound thickness. So I really recommend this paper. So I just buy a ream at a time. The packaging changed recently. It wasn't like this, but when I bought it last year, this is the packaging it came in. On Amazon right now you can get a ream, which is 500 pages, for about $14. I'll include all of the links to any of the items I bring up in the description box below, so make sure to check that out. But this is the paper that I use. I highly recommend it. I also laminate my covers every year, and so I always use the Scotch thermal laminating pouches. Now, the laminator that I have is no longer in stores. I believe it's just too old now. So I'll link a similar laminator below, and then also these laminating pouches. I have a 200 pack, but it's actually cheaper to get the 100 packs from Amazon. So the laminator is about $35, and then the laminating pouches, a 100 pack is about $20. So in addition to the paper and the laminating pouches, last year I used cardstock for some of the pages in the book, but this year I chose not to. I realized that this 28-pound paper serves just as well, and it's strong enough to not need the cardstock paper. So I won't be recommending any cardstock, but the printer that I use is an HP Envy 5540 wireless printer, and it is one of the printers that are instant ink available. So it is an inkjet printer, and I always print it at its highest possible setting. So here's an example of one that I printed earlier today on the bright white paper. Because I use instant ink, I don't have to worry about saving ink so much because I pay for the number of pages that I'm printing, no matter if it's a black and white sheet of paper or if it's in full color. So I always set the printer to the highest possible settings, and then I print in that way. It takes longer, but it's totally worth it when it comes to just the color quality in the prints. So I will link the printer. Also, the printer that I use costs about $120. I believe I got it when it was on sale though, so always wait for there to be a sale. And then the instant ink subscription, for those of you who don't know about it, you pay on a monthly basis for a certain number of pages. I believe the lowest setting might be like 50 pages a month. Whenever I'm printing my planner, I go for the highest setting, which is around 300, but that's only because I have to print multiple planners since I print one for myself and also for some coworkers. But for for 300 pages a month, it's $10 a month, and then it goes down. I believe the lowest one might be around $3 a month. But if you do like to print in color, I feel like it's really worth it. It's also really convenient because if your ink runs low, they will automatically send you the replacement ink cartridge before you need it, so that when the time comes to change out your ink cartridges, you have one ready and you don't have to go out to the store and have to pick one up. So I use HP Instant Ink, and because of that, I set my printer at the highest possible quality settings for all of my printing. I'll leave a referral link down below. So if you use that link, then you'll get 1 month of Instant Ink for free, and then I also get 1 month for free too. So it kind of benefits the both of us. So I totally recommend it. I think it's totally worth it. I used to just have a laser printer, and it's always not as fun to print in black and white. I think it's definitely more interesting to print in color. So go check that out. Some other supplies I use are my paper trimmer. Now this one is from Fiskars. It's really old, but I like this because it has a replaceable blade that I can just switch out with new ones even when the trimmer itself is pretty old. You can get pretty similar trimmers on Amazon for about like 15 to 20 bucks. So again, I'll link it down below for those of you who are interested. Because I use an Arcbound system, I also use this Arc Punch. I know it looks absolutely massive. I can lock it to be a little bit smaller. Either way, it does take up a lot of space. But this is from the Staples Arc line. In stores, it's about $50, but I checked on Amazon right before I filmed this video, and it's at around $35 right now. The reason why I got this punch over the Levenger punch or any of those is because it has an 8-sheet capacity, which I think is one of the higher settings that I've seen. Because other Arc punches are like you only can fit like 3 pages at a time, and I don't have time to sit there punching 3 pages at a time. I want to punch as many pages at a time that I can. It's also really easy for cleanup because you can just pull out the tray and then just throw it out that way. So this is my Arc Punch, again currently at around $35 on Amazon. But I will say that on Amazon the price changes very frequently and very drastically, so I would keep an eye out on this one. Some other things you'll see in my planner are these sheet protectors. So these are Arc punched sheet protectors so that if your cover doesn't have any pockets, it's kind of convenient to have these in your planner. So I bought a pack of 25, again from the Staples Arc line, and I believe it was about like $10 for a pack of 25. So I only need about 2 in my planner, but they are really convenient for just holding anything. I always keep the master calendar for my school in here, along with all of the classrooms and which teachers are in which rooms and things like that I keep in my planner. Some other things like this cover that I'm using is, some of you who have seen my video last year will recognize this. This is one of the covers from the Martha Stewart project folder line. And so I just pulled the covers off. I had a hardcover planner last year, but it just makes it so bulky. So I'm just trying to go for a lighter weight one for now. When the school year starts and I start carrying the planner back and forth a lot, I'll go back to a harder cover. But this one's a little bit more flexible and thin. So this cover, I believe, is discontinued. You can still find it on Amazon, but it's gonna be a little overpriced because it's technically not just the covers. It comes with like folder pockets and things that are really convenient. Just it's way overpriced compared to the original cost of it. So if you still really want this cover, you can find it. For my coworker, I'm going to be giving her this planner cover. So this planner cover is from Mambi, or Me and My Big Ideas, the Happy Planner line. It is really pretty. It's just a navy blue with like gold foiling along the back for the Happy Planner, and then it says Big Plans. It is a hard cover here. It does not have pockets, but this one I realize is really gorgeous. I'm kind of jealous that I decided to give this to a friend, but it's okay. It's a gift. So these covers you can still find on the Me and My Big Ideas website. It's, I believe, about $25. But for me, I bought this at Michael's when it was on sale, either when it was on sale or with a coupon, I can't remember. But you know, you can always wait around. Planner supplies go on sale at Michael's all the time for like 40 to 60% off, or there's always coupons. So I would strongly recommend purchasing it either through a coupon or through a sale. So again, don't go for original price on this. You don't have to. Another thing is the rings. So last year I really wanted the chrome Martha Stewart rings, but I didn't want to pay for metal rings, and so I went through a long process on finding rings. This year I'm just sticking with the extra supplies that I bought last year that I didn't use. So these rings on both of these are from a brand called Tulle, or T-U-L. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So these are their gold rings. These are plastic. And then these are their clear version. And these are 1-inch rings. And again, these are plastic rings. These I purchased on Office Depot. I don't know if you can find it anywhere else. But the gold ones were part of like a limited edition line. So they were about $6, and then the clear plastic ones were about $4 for a set. So I kind of like the clear ones just because I feel like I can use it with any cover and it's pretty versatile. So just letting you know that that's where I got my rings from. The last supply that I totally think is a must-have are my Avery Insertable Tabs. So these are do-it-yourself kind of plastic tabs that you can use. It comes with inserts inside, but my planner file will come with a printout of the inserts so that you can just cut it out and use it yourself and do it yourself, and it'll match the planner. So these are all from that planner file that I made, and these tabs are also just these here. If you want to know more about how to use those, they are in my planner put together video from last year, so go check that out if you want to see that. But these are really cheap. They're about $2.50 for a pack of 25. I buy it every year. It's a must-have. Those are all the supplies that I used this year for my planner. If you are interested in actually seeing the walkthrough for my teacher planner, I'm going to link it at the end of this video, and also I'll link it to my store down in the description box below. Again, all of the links for all of the items I brought up here will be posted in the description box as well. So I'll see you next time. Bye.